ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्नति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. Shunvatam swakatha krishna punya shravana kirtana hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidurnoti shuhatsatam. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमाश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। शुभोदय कृष्ण। Okay, Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we are reading from verse 325, 44. So let me see if I can share this. Give me 1 second. Twenty-five, 44. Okay. एतवानेव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसां निःश्रेयसोदयः तीव्रेण भक्तियोगेन मनोमयी अर्पितं स्थिराम्। एतवान् एव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसां निःश्रेयसोदयः तीव्रेण भक्तियोगेन मनोमया अर्पितं स्थिरम्। Synonyms: Etavan eva, only so far, lokesmin, in this world, pumsam, of men, ni shreyasa, final perfection of life, udayaha, the attainment of, tivrena, intense, bhakti yogena, by practice of devotional service, manaha, mind, mai, in me, arpitam, fixed, sthiram, steady. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Therefore, persons whose minds are fixed on the Lord engage in the intensive practice of devotional service. That is the only means for attainment of the final perfection of life. Purport. Here, the words mano, mai, arpitam, which mean the mind being fixed on me, are significant. One should fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna or his incarnation. To be fixed steadily in that freedom is the way of liberation. Amarisha Maharaj is an example. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. He spoke only on the pastimes of the Lord. He smelled only the flowers and the tulsi offered to the Lord. He walked only to the temple of the Lord. He engaged his hands in cleansing the temple. He engaged his tongue in tasting the foodstuff offered to the Lord. And he engaged his ears for hearing the great pastimes of the Lord. In that way, all his senses were engaged. First of all, the mind should be engaged at the lotus feet of the Lord, very steadily and naturally. Because the mind is the master of the senses, when the mind is engaged, all the senses become engaged. That is Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means controlling the senses. The senses cannot be controlled in the proper sense of the term. They're always agitated. This is true also with a child. How long can he be forced to sit down silently? It is not possible. Even Arjuna said, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. The mind is always agitated. The best course is to fix the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. Manomai arpitam sthiram. If one seriously engages in Krishna consciousness, that is the highest perfectional stage. All Krishna conscious activities are on the highest perfectional level of human life. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 25th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Glories of Devotional Service. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to actually study this verse. It's really nice, and speaking something from Srimad Bhagavatam, since just yesterday I took up this service. I just have few points from this purport that I'd like to highlight. First of all, in this chapter, we're seeing that Mother Devahuti in the beginning, she had started to ask questions with this very important one, where she is asking to dispel this ahamameti, this conception of I and mine. And then Lord Kapila starts to speak, where he talks about, in the earlier verses, about this Adhyatmika Yoga, which has three limbs, Bhakti, Gnana, and Ashtanga Yoga. And then he expands on these topics into the next chapters, especially focusing on the Sankhya Yoga. So, one very important thing, and Prabhupada is really mentioning, as well as it's in the translation, that this, all the activities are being driven or being controlled by mind. So this mind is the pivot in the text 15 of the same verse, where Lord Kapila is explaining about this mind, that how it is the pivotal point where it goes, either if it's attached to the material activities, then it causes bondage. But if the same mind is attached to the Supreme Lord, it causes liberation. And then and we know that even in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says that, Krishna, I can control the, moving wind, but I cannot control the mind. The mind is so chanchala, our mind is, so difficult to control. And even Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that, in chapter 6, where he talks about this focus, or this nature of the mind, that how mind is either the friend of the conditioned soul or an enemy, depending on where it is, what activities it's causing. So, some or other one has to control this mind, conquer this mind, make it, our friend, so that way we can focus it in the right direction. Um, so these dictations of mind are so strong that it is not possible for one to control on by ourselves. And Prabhupada is giving the example of a child that, we can try in a in certain some ways to try to control the mind, but artificially or just by doing um, some yoga practices, how long we'll be able to control it, how long a child can sit down silently. It's not possible, one way or the other. It will get agitated by some sense objects. So, it's in the best way, the best course it's given here. The answers Prabhupada is giving is the best course is to fix the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. So somehow or other, we need to focus, bring our mind, its attention to Krishna. And Prabhupada has given us this, really like a perfect pathway to how we can focus, like all our activities, how they can be focused on Krishna. I recently went to Alachua Temple and I was visiting Alachua. So I went to the temple few times in the morning, and Alachua Temple is actually, a lot of, or most of it, the community is Prabhupada's disciples. And, we're talking like 55 years, 55 years since they've been practiced, whatever, 55 years, they've been practicing this Krishna consciousness. And, many of them actually still the process that Prabhupada has given, you see them following so like diligently, so it's so much joy. Like I went for Mangala Arati, and the temple room is filled with all Prabhupada's disciples. I went a couple of times, and you see this, all of them come to the morning Mangala Arati. They chant their japa, they attend the Srimad Bhagavatam class, and then, whatever services they have, they will go do that. So Prabhupada has really given us this, what we call this sandwich program, that, we begin our day by our, Mangala Arati and Tulsi Arati, chanting Srimad Bhagavatam class, and then hopefully that prepares our mind, our consciousness to focus on Krishna. And then as we're going through our day, we're trying to remember as best as we can in all our activities, focusing our mind and our consciousness on making it all our activities Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious. And then at the end, also at the end of the day, uh, we're to read Krishna book, Bhagavatam, some in the evening also performing activities where we're ending our day also with remembering Krishna. So, in one sense, like the key to trying to focus on our mind on Krishna at the lotus feet of Krishna is already chalked out for us by Prabhupada. He has given us, and we just have to, I guess, walk on it somehow or other, follow the process, and that will help us to control this mind and always never forget Krishna and always remember Krishna, keeping that at the center of our activities. So, yeah, I think that's all I would probably like to highlight from this verse here today. And let me see, did I? And then example, we have example of Amrish Maharaj given here, how he was a great emperor, but yet all his activities, all his senses, everything was constantly fixed on serving the Lord. Yeah, so I think I would just stop here and just open it up for any sharing, discussion, any like to add, any correction. Okay, so yeah, if nothing else is there, then we can conclude here for today. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, devotees.